What if I told you there's a city in Africa, older than most European capitals, built entirely of stone, by a kingdom so advanced it amazed the world? This is the story of Great Zimbabwe, the lost kingdom of wealth, power, and mystery. Between the 11th and 15th centuries, the Shona people established a city that would become the heart of an empire, Great Zimbabwe. The name Zimbabwe comes from the Shona phrase Zimbabwe, which means houses of stone. And indeed, every building was made from massive granite blocks, carefully cut and stacked without a single drop of mortar to hold them together. It's a marvel of ancient engineering. For centuries, this city flourished, its influence stretching across southern Africa. How could an empire this advanced exist for so long, and yet so few of us have even heard of it? The story of Great Zimbabwe is not just about stone walls, it is about a civilization that defied expectations and left behind a puzzle that historians are still piecing together today. Its rise was as spectacular as its eventual disappearance was mysterious, a silent testament to a forgotten golden age. Great Zimbabwe wasn't just a settlement, it was a thriving hub of trade and power. Gold, ivory, and exotic goods flowed through the city's markets, making their way to the coast and from there, to distant lands across the Indian Ocean. Archaeologists digging through the layers of history have unearthed thousands of incredible artifacts. Delicate soapstone carvings, intricate pottery, and glass beads from as far away as Persia and China paint a picture of a cosmopolitan society with a rich cultural and spiritual life. The city was meticulously organized with complex social structures. At the top was a powerful king, supported by a class of nobles, skilled artisans, and savvy merchants. This entire kingdom was coordinated, creating a society that, in its time, was wealthier and more organized than some contemporary European states. Imagine a city with tens of thousands of people, thriving without any written records, dominating trade in southern Africa, yet the world barely knew it existed. The most breathtaking legacy of this kingdom is its legendary structures. The Great Enclosure stands as the largest ancient structure in sub-Saharan Africa. Its outer wall, constructed with over 1 million perfectly fitted stones, rises up to 11 meters high and stretches for more than 250 meters. Walking alongside it, you can't help but feel a sense of awe. Then there's the hill complex, perched on a rocky outcrop overlooking the valley. This was likely the royal palace and the spiritual center of the kingdom, a place of power and sacred rituals. The sheer scale and precision of these buildings are a feat of engineering that continues to amaze historians and architects today. How did they build walls this massive, with stones so perfectly fitted, without modern tools or technology? What secrets did the rulers of this great city hide within these impenetrable stone fortresses? The answers are locked in the stones themselves, whispering tales of a lost art. Religion and culture were the lifeblood of Great Zimbabwe, deeply intertwined with its governance and power. The famous soapstone birds, 8 of which were discovered in the ruins, are perhaps the most iconic symbols of this civilization. Each bird is unique, carved with incredible detail. Historians believe they may have represented royal authority, the spirits of ancestors, or served as emblems of spiritual power, connecting the earthly king to the heavens. The rulers of Great Zimbabwe didn't just control the gold mines and trade routes, they also controlled the spiritual life of their people. This blending of political power with divine influence created a stable and powerful society, much like the great Obas of the Kingdom of Benin or the pharaohs of ancient Egypt. And yet, despite this brilliance, this undeniable proof of a sophisticated civilization, many outsiders simply refuse to believe that Africans could have built such a magnificent city. When European explorers first stumbled upon these massive stone ruins in the 19th century, they were utterly shocked. The scale and artistry were so far beyond their prejudiced expectations that they couldn't accept the truth. Instead, they invented fantastical theories, claiming the city must have been built by ancient outsiders, perhaps Greeks, Phoenicians, or even the legendary Queen of Sheba. For decades, this colonial narrative overshadowed the real history, a deliberate attempt to deny African ingenuity and erase the achievements of the Shona people from the history books. It wasn't until the 20th century, with the arrival of modern archaeology, that the story was finally corrected. Rigorous scientific investigation confirmed what the local people had known all along: Great Zimbabwe was the creation of their ancestors. This city's genius was hidden from the world for centuries, but the stones never lied. Great Zimbabwe was not an isolated kingdom lost in the African interior. It was a key player on the world stage, a critical node in a vast network of international trade. The gold and ivory that originated here traveled on a long journey, carried to coastal ports like Sofala, and then shipped across the Indian Ocean. These precious goods reached the bustling markets of the Middle East, India, and even as far as China. In return, exotic items flowed back into Great Zimbabwe, enriching its culture and economy. This immense wealth allowed the kingdom to dominate the trade routes of southern Africa for centuries. Its influence was so profound that some scholars believe it laid the groundwork for neighboring kingdoms, like the powerful kingdom of Mutapa, which rose to prominence just as Great Zimbabwe began its slow decline. Here was a city so wealthy and powerful that it shaped the course of southern African history, and yet, it was nearly erased from our collective memory. But by the 15th century, after 4 centuries of dominance, Great Zimbabwe began to decline. The great stone houses fell silent, and the once bustling markets grew empty. The exact reasons for its abandonment remain one of history's great debates. Was it overpopulation, straining the resources of the surrounding land? Did a catastrophic drought lead to famine, forcing the people to leave? Or was it a shift in trade routes and political power that made the city obsolete? The truth is likely a combination of these factors. The city was abandoned, and its people dispersed, carrying its legacy with them to new homes. Today, the ruins stand as silent, beautiful witnesses to a glorious past. They are a testament to human ingenuity, a reminder of lost civilizations, and a powerful symbol of Africa's forgotten empires. Who were these people, and what can we learn from the magnificent city they left behind? Great Zimbabwe is more than just a collection of ancient ruins. It is a powerful symbol of African brilliance, resilience, and a deep, rich history that the world is only just beginning to fully appreciate. Its stones whisper tales of wealth, power, trade, and a sophisticated culture that thrived long before colonial maps attempted to redraw the continent and rewrite its past. This is not just a story of a lost kingdom, it's a living legacy that continues to inspire the nation that bears its name, the people of Zimbabwe, and all of Africa. It's proof that great civilizations have risen and fallen all over the world, and that there are still so many incredible stories waiting to be told. If you want to uncover more hidden empires and untold history of Africa and the world, make sure you subscribe and join us on this journey through the past. Thanks for watching.